Several items to start with. One, next week we don't have class. I still got stuff to be working on. And then the following week we'll have class. Trying to think, wait a minute. And second one, chapter 5 and 6 test, y'all will take in class on April 3rd. I posted an announcement about that yesterday. We are going to do that test here. And I think that's it on those. We've gone through 5 questions on chapter 5. As we talked about different storage devices. We talked about DVDs, CDs, and y'all need to be paying attention in here, not working on other classes while I'm lecturing in this class. So we talked about the CDs, the DVDs, the Blu-ray. We talked about which different types of hard drives. What were the 2 types of hard drives we talked about? I can't hear you.
Hard disk drives and solid states.
Okay, as far as the storage drives, you do have the solid state and you got the hard disk drives, but as far as the hard disk drives, what 2 types of them did we have?
Internal and external.
And that's not what I'm looking for, but you could have that, but they're the same, effectively. What's your connection types inside on hard drives? SATA and PATA. Okay. If you do it external, what are you going to connect it to normally? USB. Although it could connect to FireWire. Okay. But normally they're going to be USB. And they're going to be actually SATA drives that are converting to USB in there. So if you opened it up and looked, you'd actually find you've got a SATA drive in there. What were the speeds on the hard drives?
Um, 72,000?
7,200. But you had the right first 2 numbers, so you just had it off by a set of. The 7,200 is one of them. What's the other 2? 5,400. And 10,000 was your other one. But 7,200 being where you're most often seeing out there right now. And besides having the physical hard drives, you've now got the solid state ones. And so we mentioned them a little bit. Use some, but not extensively right now, because the price of them is still expensive in terms of the hard drive, and they're not as much storage space on them typically either as you've got on the actual hard drives at this point, although that's going to change in time. Flash drives, we talked about them and the different type of ways that you had for flash. Could be your thumb drives, and you could be a number of other type flash storage that you're using. CDs and DVDs that are RW. How many times did we say you typically could probably rewrite them?
I think it's like 6.
It's bigger than 6.
Bigger than
50. 50 is what they usually tell you on it, but that's just going to depend on the CD itself and depend on your environmental conditions or keeping it in, etc. It's going to have effect on that. The other thing with the rewritable ones, they are more subject to heat and direct light on them than the ones that are writable only one time, the R's, okay? Because it's got to have a little bit more meltable surfaces for it to be the rewritable. And so they don't, their long-term life is not as long as the R's, which the book kept calling ROMs, okay? And it's really not ROMs, they're R's. They're readable, they're not read-only memory. I don't know why they kept wanting to do them as ROM instead of R. You go to the store to buy them, you're going to see that there's CDR and CDRW, or DVD-R and DVD-RW. But even with the readable ones, the R's, as long as you don't close them, you can write more to them. You just can't write in the area where you've already written. Okay? But once you close it, you've effectively written across the whole thing. And you can't write any more on it. Alright. Other questions on 5. So I just assume not start 6 today, because that's networking, so we're jumping completely on it. And us dive into that starting in a week and a half. So have y'all got questions on what all we've done so far? But SATA or SATA is what you're normally going to use nowadays. However, if you're repairing machines, which is what this class is teaching you to do, you are going to encounter plenty of PATA drives out there also. Because if it's machines that are older than a few years old, they're going to have PATA on them instead of SATA. Now, if it is an older machine and you need to replace the drive in it and it doesn't have SATA connectors in it, that's not a problem. You can actually buy converter connectors to convert from the PATA to the SATA. Okay? And that'll plug, the converter one plugs into the PATA plug and gives you now an SATA plug on it. Or that you can put an SATA card in the machine that then has the connector straight on it. So you'll be able to still work with the, because it's, you're not hardly any PATA drives for sale out there as far as hard drives. The optical drives on the CD, DVD, which are almost all DVD drives now, are going to be, most of them are still PATA, oddly enough. That they haven't switched them over for some reason to SATA consistently. Some of them are, but a lot of them out there are still PATA, which amazes me. And SATA is going to give us a faster throughput across it. It's going to have a faster interface on it. Drive's not going to run any faster, but you do have the faster line going through you. The bus is faster on it. Alright, questions on all of that? Any questions on that stuff? Any questions on any of the other stuff we've done in class so far? If not, I'll let y'all go early today if y'all don't have something else to do for us to cover in here. Since we're ahead of the game at this point, because 5 really goes through next week. And then we've got 6 those next 2 weeks after that. And we can get 6 covered in those 2 weeks without a problem. And then like I said, there's that test out there that mentions about that you're going to have a slow test, SLO test. It shows it for at the end of the semester. That one may be sooner. I may get told Friday that we need to do that test sooner to get results back from it, because it's used for an internal school study. So you may see a note from me saying you need to go ahead and take that test. Okay? Which is assembling a computer using test out, including installing the operating system onto it. But y'all know how to use the test out simulator at this point. So on that,
How many times we can take that test?
which one?
The one that you started.
The one I just said?
Yeah.
I think that one will actually let you take multiple times, but I'm not sure on which score they use for their study purposes, which isn't going to link back to you individually on it. Whether they use the highest one or the first one. It's me that gets graded back on that theoretically, but not really.
Yeah, because sometimes test out with like little mistake, and it's gonna be like 20 points less. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Because whenever you do simulations, you think everything is right, but sometimes, yeah, it says like you made something, but you really don't miss anything. So just want to make sure that we can read it.
Okay, if you have problems on them, let me know on it. Send me a message and tell me which one, and so that I can alert them if nothing else.
Oh,
Okay? Because if y'all don't tell me, I don't know. So, on that, those of you in the design class this afternoon, we covered the chapter the other day, didn't we?
yeah.
Because we went fully through that, and did we, what was next week?
We don't have anything.
Is there, was it for 2 weeks?
Now we have something due next Monday.
No, the fall.
No, we have this stuff due next Monday, yeah, but
Yeah.
we don't have class next week.
Yeah, I know we don't have, but I'm going, have we got, what have we got?
I think we are all the way to.
We went through the for a while and do.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 6 next week. So, okay. So, this afternoon, what we'll do in there is we'll do chapter 6.
Yeah.
Okay? So we'll do next week's work this afternoon. That's what I was looking to see. Okay? And so that'll have y'all exactly on it, because 5 is due Monday, and then 6 will be due on the 13th, but we're not going to have class next week. So we'll go ahead and go over 6 today. Okay?
Are you coming to school tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
Yes.
the faculty will not be here tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Because I got a Cisco class with you.
Hmm?
Just want to make sure. Because I got a class with you tomorrow. So I just
We
wanna-
don't have, you don't have that class tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay? Because tomorrow and Friday are student holidays, and the faculty will not be here tomorrow. We'll all be in Calhoun in meetings all day. And then Friday, the school's probably closed up on Friday, because all of the employees are supposed to be in meetings in Calhoun on Friday. I suspect that the building will be open Friday, but it'll just be the receptionist downstairs. Will be the only one here. Because the secretaries and everybody are supposed to be at the meeting on Friday. But I would imagine they would at least have the receptionist there, so if any people that are interested in coming to school here show up on Friday, they can get information. But that would be the only person here, and likewise over at the Walker campus would be just that. As a matter of fact, I think that the full-time janitors are also at those meetings. on Friday. That it's everybody. So effectively, we're pretty much closed tomorrow and Friday. So that's why it's student holidays on it. That's why it says student holidays, not holidays, is because faculty still has to work. Everybody else has to work. It's just the students get off. But then next week, I won't be here, but I will be online. Okay? So if y'all send me emails or whatever, I will answer them during the evening each day. Some evenings it may be later, because Sunday is going to be driving over there. I guess Thursday, Friday, I'm going to drive back partly on Thursday and theoretically drive on back Friday. Not drive all day Friday because but we don't let out till like 1 o'clock Thursday or something, and I may be a little later there getting some information from them. And so I don't intend to drive back all the way on Thursday. As from what I've been told, it's somewhere around 7-8 hours or something from here. And if by the time I get out at that point and then I stop and eat supper somewhere along the way, we're talking midnight or something, if I drove straight back through. So but Sunday I am going to drive over, just get up Sunday morning and drive over and get there at some point. And then I know on Tuesday night it'll be after 9 o'clock before I get on the computer. So if you send me emails, that I won't see them until that point. But I will answer them each evening. Okay? Because they've got starting from 9 o'clock in the morning until like 9 that night on us. Because I know I'm teaching a session at 9 o'clock Tuesday morning. And there's another session somewhere in there between Wednesday and Thursday that I teach another session. And then I've got sessions to attend the rest of the morning, lunch, and in the afternoon. And then they got a event for us that evening. So, and Monday is sessions all day for me, and then I'm staying 40 miles from where I'm meeting on Monday, so I still got to drive back to the motel and stuff. And obviously I got to find supper somewhere to eat too. And then with that group, that they may say, let's get together afterwards for the evening, some of us, and talk some more. So, who knows? Hopefully I'll get a good bit of stuff out of the week. Because Monday is Cisco, and then the other 2.5 days is different things about computers. So I'm talking about DreamSpark Imagine. I know there's a lady there, she's talking about VMware. I want to go to her session, and I know her. And then there should be Jean Andrews that writes the book on A+. She or her daughter should be there, or maybe both of them, to talk about any changes on A+. And then they probably got somebody, and some people from CompTIA should be there to talk about some other things on the other CompTIA exams. And so they got a variety of those. And then they got free testing there too for Certiport. So hopefully I'll take at least 1, if not 2 tests while I'm there. I don't know how I'll do on them. So I intend to probably take the Word 2016 one. But how well I'll have on that, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Because I really don't have anything. Well, they gave me a study thing, because I can do a practice test on it if I get a chance to. So I get my presentation done first. And then I may take an Adobe Photoshop one and see how well I can do on Photoshop CC, which I have not used. And that I might be able to pass it. So I'll see. And when it's free, I might as well take 1 or 2 of them. So I know I did 1 last year, and I'm don't think I did 2. I think I only did 1 last year, and I didn't pass it because it was HTML5, and what they told me was on the test and what was on the test was 2 different things. And I haven't found anything that shows how to study that's showing similar type questions as was really on the test. So I probably won't try that again, but I may try it just to see if I can figure it out this time, because I didn't miss it by much. But if I could find something, I'd dive into it. Alright, I will see y'all a week from Tuesday, or a week from Monday. Sometime in there. So on the 13th, I will see y'all.